I'm standing out in front of the walls of Jerusalem, a city historically known for hostility towards Jesus. In Matthew 23, Jesus says, "O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, the city that kills the prophets and stones those who are sent to it. How often would I have gathered your children together as a hen gathers her brood under her wings, and you were not willing." So I'm a Jewish man that believes in Jesus. Let's go see what the people of Jerusalem have to say about it. Okay, so I'm a Jewish man, and I believe in Jesus. Am I wrong?
Yes.
Yes? No, tell me. I'm not going to be offended. I just want to know why and have an intellectual conversation. Okay, I'm a Jewish man.
Okay.
I believe in Jesus.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Tell me how.
It makes absolutely zero sense because you're Jewish. You should learn about your own roots first.
Can I hear what the Yeshua was?
What's that?
That story?
What's that?
Said you had a Yeshua 5 years ago.
Salvation story.
Can I hear more about the story?
More about the story? Of
Yeah.
course. So 5 years ago, I had an encounter with Jesus that I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting it. I was miserable, depressed, anxious, and suicidal. And I felt empty. So I tried to fill it up with New Age spirituality, meditation, bits and pieces of Buddhism and Hinduism, idol worship. I had my own made-up religion. And I realized that I needed something more. And when I finally crumbled and fell to the floor, I cried out to God, and Jesus showed up. He showed up in people, he showed up in books, he showed up in television programs, and I started to weep. And so what I realized was that this is the truth. And so I put my faith in Yeshua. I was changed overnight. And I decided to research the scriptures, the Old Testament, and the Tanakh, our Hebrew scriptures, and realized that they were pointing to someone. The whole time they were pointing to someone. And then when I read the New Testament, I was like bold enough to finally open it and read through it. I realized there's a beautiful story from beginning to end about the problem that the Jewish people have with their relationship with God, and in the New Testament, how God fixed the problem by sending the Mashiach.
Yeah.
So 5 years studying my faith, realizing that this is the truth. And so it was just a simple question of, am I wrong? And if I'm wrong, just your opinion as to why, and that's all. Just to have just a dialogue between Jewish brothers.
Sounds like a very good argument.
And I appreciate you stopping by. I mean,
Yeah.
it takes courage.
No, I like having a good time. So
Yeah.
it's just a part of my good time today.
Like, why would I be wrong?
Um,
And first of all, I appreciate you stopping because
is it possible to have reached for two different, things, different conclusions to have been made by different people, I guess?
Absolutely.
You and someone else?
yeah, like most traditional Jews would say that I'm wrong.
Right.
Yeah, and that it's not appropriate, it's not right for a Jewish person to put their faith in Yeshua, only God alone. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Okay, right? This is the Shema. God is one, he's not a man, like it says in Hosea. But when we, you're familiar with the story of Genesis, right? The Breshit, where God appears to Abraham as a human. He's with two angels, he appears as a human, and speaks to Abraham in
Rashi
first
says
person.
it- yeah, right.
In first person, as
Right,
God.
I don't know.
That's
I
okay.
don't
That's
agree
okay.
to that
That's okay.
necessarily.
And so he has appeared. He has appeared as in human form in the past. So he can do it without being only human.
Right. So you're right. If you right, I guess I see how if you see that main Malach who speaks to Avram
Right.
in first person, which
Yeah.
Rashi, whatever.
Rashi.
Explains that there's a main officer and there's two other angels.
Angels. Yeah.
So I guess where I'm coming from.
Bo.
I guess where I'm coming from under the understanding or idea that those are all three were angels, and that wasn't necessarily I believe in angels
Right.
and God's messengers, and
Right.
without
Yeah.
I guess without seeing that was God, I can't agree
Yeah.
to the point that I wouldn't be able to agree to the point
Yeah.
that God is that there's
Because there are
precedent for God.
times in the Tanakh where he actually speaks in first person as the Lord, like he speaks in first person. But you should check it out.
How could I believe that you're wrong? We have belief. Truth is truth.
Right.
Right. So I've always been a fan of looking for truth with truth.
Okay.
That means one can look for truth in a way that's self-serving, that works, I like this. What
Right.
I believe is that everyone has a journey in life. And the only way to search for that journey is to search for it with truth. That means look for truth with truth.
Right.
What's in the way always?
Yeah.
We have our biases. And we're human beings, we
Right.
have a bias.
Right. Did you know that I grew up and my bias was against Jesus?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, but I came to faith in him
Yeah.
through a supernatural experience.
I totally understand that.
Yeah.
I expect that. I have a lot of experience with people like that.
Yeah.
And I just want to tell you something. We need to go to a direction that takes us to inner tranquility, to a place where we can actually find the truth.
So that's really interesting because Jesus himself actually said that he is the truth. So I believe that actually if someone is seeking truth, and if they seek with their heart and they seek long enough, that they will find it in Jesus. Hey guys, do you speak English? Can I ask you a question for YouTube? For YouTube? Yes?
Yeah, I'm cool.
Okay, so I'm a Jewish man.
Yeah.
Okay, I believe in Jesus. And am I wrong? And if I am, how or why?
God created the world, and you can tell that He did it because if you look around, you'll see.
It's beautiful.
And really look around. If you really look around, you'll see.
Thank you. We're asking people questions on the street about my faith and your opinion about my faith. And I don't take it personal. We're just asking people's opinions. I'm a Jewish guy. I'm a Jewish guy. But it is about Jesus. So I'm a Jewish man that believes in Jesus. And I'm just asking people what they think about that and if they think that I'm wrong.
What's the name of
The channel? So be it. So be it. Amen, de Anglit. Yeah. So just asking people's opinions, that's all. Like what's your opinion? You see a Jewish man standing in front of you. I say I believe in Jesus. How does that make you feel? And do you think that I'm wrong?
I mean, I have my opinion. You have your.
And your opinion is valid and completely respectable.
As well.
Thank you.
If you ask me, like, if we would have a debate, I wouldn't know much.
Yeah.
But if you would have a debate with a rabbi,
Yeah.
a rabbi that knows, I think
Yeah.
great fun.
But you can tell me what you think, which is important. I grew up Jewish.
Yeah.
I have a Jewish family. I went to Hebrew school.
From New York.
From California.
California, right.
Yeah,
Even
Hebrew
better.
school. And I rapped tefillin. I went to Hebrew's a Jewish summer camp.
And what happened?
No, listen, this was a long time ago. I had my bar mitzvah. My son had his bar mitzvah. But 5 years ago, I had an encounter with Jesus, Yeshua, that I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting it. I was miserable, depressed, anxious, and suicidal. Like I wanted to commit suicide. And I had experiences that were related to Jesus suddenly over the course of like 45 days, day after day after day. And it started to like change me from the inside, and I didn't know why. So what did they teach you about Yeshua?
I'll tell you what. I studied in a Goyish school.
Okay.
So
Gentile school.
What? Yeah, Gentile school.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
It's great.
It's good that you speak.
Can translate.
Yeah, you can translate that. So yeah, and I did study a little bit on that, on Christianity.
Yeah. People think that the New Testament is like anti-Semitic and things, but you studied a little bit of Christianity, right?
And of course, I don't know if it's anti-Semitic, either yes or no, but
yeah.
I think you can see in the revolutions after what happened afterwards.
Yeah.
Came a little bit anti-Semitic.
Yeah, well, actually, afterwards, the church moved away from the Bible.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And from their Jewish roots.
Yeah, of course.
They disconnected from their Jewish roots, which caused connections with politics and then oppression and persecution of Jewish people.
Yeah.
You know. So what happened was, 5 years ago, I had this experience. And I didn't want to just think that, oh, I feel it, therefore it's true. I wanted to study it. So I read through the whole Bible. The Tanakh, all the way through to the Brit Hadashah, the New Testament, and I realized there's a beautiful story from beginning to end about the problem that the Jewish people have with their relationship with God, and in the New Testament how God fixed the problem by sending the Mashiach, you know, who was supposed to come before the destruction of the temple in 70 AD, and he came right on time. And so I thought, this is incredible. He changed my life, and now I'm reading about it, how he did it.
And you feel attached to it.
Yeah, I feel that it's the truth.
It's your own point of view, you know.
It doesn't make it true, though.
I can't tell you, what you think, what you feel is wrong, you know. It's like.
Well, I mean, like, I could say that the sky is green and the moon is made out of cheese, but it's not true.
A religion is something you need a teacher and mentor to provide you, explain to you between the lines.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't read from words. So I would tell you that it's actually quite silly without exploring in a very detailed way your own roots. With a rabbi, somebody who's knowledgeable,
Yeah.
I can explain to you. I would say it's an unfortunate thing to do.
I appreciate your opinion. Have you ever read the New Testament before?
I did. I don't need to because I have my own religion. I'm 1,000% set. So
Yeah,
no reason
yeah.
to. I love what I do.
Yeah.
And I'm very passionate. But you're Jewish.
Yeah.
You see, are you Jewish?
Yeah, yeah.
If someone's not Jewish, by the way, I wouldn't tell him. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
But for a Jewish person, you certainly should read your own roots. Otherwise, it makes absolutely zero sense. Because you're Jewish, you should learn about your own roots first.
What do you like? What's your faith? What do you believe?
What I believe, I mean, what I grew up learning, which is just, like, I don't know, it's like Hashem, creator of all, like,
Yeah.
more so just grew up believing in Jewish law, like following halakha,
Right.
putting on tefillin.
Right.
And then when I came to, never really did a lot of like digging as far as like why or like how we were created, just more so like kind of had that faith just from inheriting it from my parents, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And I'm a Jewish believer in Jesus. I'm a Jewish man that believes in Jesus. Am I wrong?
There is nothing wrong that you can believe to whatever you are, and you are entitled to whatever you want to believe.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Thank you.
There is nothing wrong.
Yeah, God bless you.
Wow.
My
so sweet
pleasure.
you
God
are.
bless you.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah, yeah.
Very good.
Thank you. Yeah, well, we are, as Jewish people, we're told to be the light to the nations, a light to the world, right?
Yeah.
And so how do we
But the
reach
light
the
to
world?
The Jews as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
We're all part of the world, right? The Jewish people are part of the world. And you know what Yeshua said? He said, go be my witnesses in Jerusalem and Judea and Samaria first,
Of course. Yeah.
then the rest of the world. To the Jews first.
It's
So,
interesting.
it is
you know?
interesting.
But it's. I think that's maybe where the conflict maybe starts.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's interesting.
It is interesting.
Very interesting. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
It's beautiful what you're doing in this project. It's pretty
Appreciate it.
beautiful,
I appreciate it. Well, we're brothers. You were Jewish brothers. You know that, right?
But you'll always be Jewish.
That's right. That's
But
right.
Some people find it offensive.
Yeah.
Some people that went to Christianity and you still tell them that they're still Jewish. They get offended, but you don't get offended. by
No,
that.
of course not. I don't. It's difficult to offend me. Do you know what the word Christ means?
Go for it.
Mashiach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It means Mashiach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything specifically you could point to that you think is proof from, I guess, from the Old Testament of the New Testament?
Well, first of all, there's the prophecies.
Right.
Born in Bethlehem. In Daniel 9, he says that the Messiah has to come before the destruction of the second temple. So if the Messiah hasn't come yet, then there's no Messiah. If he was supposed to come before the destruction of the second temple.
Again, I'm not sure if I necessarily agree to the assumptions that you're making.
Sure. That's why we're having conversation.
Right.
And I appreciate you so much.
Yeah. So you identify as Christian?
Well, I'm a Jewish man that believes and follows Jesus.
Right.
Yeah. Yeshua.
Right.
Right?
That's not right. That's
So the word Christ means Mashiach. Okay, it's Greek for Mashiach. So a Christian is basically someone that just follows Messiah.
right.
It's not like
I'm just,
Yeah.
That you're saying you do identify as a Christian.
absolutely, absolutely. But I don't have to use the term Christian. I usually just say Jewish follower of Jesus because Christian has a context here. Like when I asked you the word Christian, what do you think of?
Christians,
Like
followers of
Gentile
Joshua.
people?
No, not particular. Just
Yeah.
people who follow Jesus.
Yeah. So yeah, then I would be that.
Pretty great.
Do you think I'm still Jewish?
It's not. I don't think that's a question I can answer.
Really?
I'm not sure.
Like like my parents are Jewish, both of them. My
Right. Right. Oh, yeah,
my
of
father's
course.
side Cohen,
Yeah.
my mom's side Levi.
Right. You're Jewish. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. On both sides, like all the way up. So
Right. Your mother's.
yeah, I'm not a religious Jew.
Everyone has different opinions,
Right.
and I think the important thing for me, at least,
Yeah.
when someone tells me something like that, is
Yeah.
just like be respectful of it. I
Right.
mean, as long as you feel like there's a spiritual connection that
Yeah.
works for you,
Right.
and I guess if you have people to kind of speak with about it and to
Yeah.
form a connection with on similar grounds, where maybe someone has the same opinion as you, or someone has a different opinion than you,
Yeah.
but you're respectful of each other's opinions, and
Right.
you can connect around the fact that like you have a spiritual connection to God, Jesus,
Right.
Shem,
Right.
Allah, like
Right. We're Jewish brothers here.
yeah, exactly.
You know.
So I mean, you know, good for you. Like,
Yeah.
good for anyone who has a differing opinion, as long as people are respectful of it. But
Right.
I don't think there's a right or wrong. Just
Yeah.
as long as
Like,
people can understand each other.
yeah, the question I have like really is like, if I believe it, does it make it true? Or is there truth outside of like my own belief? You know what I mean?
I mean, faith's one of those things. I mean, it's the definition is like you have to believe in something that might not necessarily be explainable.
Yeah.
You have to have that faith. So I mean, true, it could be true in your own mind, not true in someone else's. But again, that's the opinions that come into play here. I mean,
Right.
whether or not you believe it and someone else believes it, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a matter of what's true to you.
Yeah.
And how you connect with religion as a whole.
Actually, I feel more Jewish now than I used to when I was younger.
You feel your connection to Judaism is
My connection to the Jewish people, to our Jewish roots, to our Ketuvim, is much stronger. And I've read through the Tanakh quite a few times, and it actually increases my faith in Yeshua because I see from the beginning, Breshit, in Genesis 3:15, that there was a problem between Adam and Eve and God, and then there was a separation, and God said that the seed of the woman, which women don't have seed, but the seed of the woman, so it was pointing towards something, will crush the head of the serpent, which is basically the idea of the Satan, right? The devil that came to put a separation between us and God. So from the beginning, there's pointing towards someone. Do you believe in the coming of a Messiah?
yeah.
You do? You
Yeah.
believe that he's a person or it's like an age?
I'm not. I haven't.
Not sure?
I haven't learned enough. I myself did not grow up. Didn't grow up particularly fulfilled or religious.
Yeah.
So, I'm just only been learning for 5 years.
Yeah.
6 years.
Me too, actually. Interesting. Parallel, just different conclusions.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess it's interesting how that I was saying earlier that there's two. I guess there's probably more than two different conclusions
Absolutely.
people can make, and
Absolutely.
either one can be fulfilling, I guess.
They can be fulfilling. The question whether or not it's true, which is what you asked.
Right.
How do you know it's true? You know what I mean? Instead of,
Right.
am I wrong? Well, how do you know you're right? Because if you're right, I'm wrong.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
And vice versa.
Right. Yeah.
So we keep studying and we keep asking God for guidance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Appreciate you, bro.
No problem.
God bless you.
You too.
Take care. Well, that was so encouraging. I got to share my story. I got to have some really fantastic and intellectual discussions with people about Jesus, about faith. The questions here in Jerusalem, the answers were very different here in Jerusalem than they were in Tel Aviv. I did get a few resistance. Some people didn't want to talk about it at all. And other people were really engaging. And I was actually really surprised because I was expecting some hostility. But we're all brothers here. We are Jewish brothers that live in the land of Israel. And we have different faiths. If you like this kind of content, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, help YouTube promote this video more. Leave a comment down in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you if you have questions for me. If you disagree with me as well, put that down in the comment as well. Thank you for watching. God bless you.